Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the channel where glossy brochures, showroom hype, and marketing buzzwords all get tossed aside so we can focus on what really matters, what a car feels like, looks like, and delivers in the real world. If you're new here, buckle up, because this is the place where we take cars beyond the press release and into an honest conversation. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about EVs of 2026. The Tesla Model Q. Yes, the latest addition to Tesla's lineup that aims to slot in just beneath the Model Y but with a whole new approach to compact electric mobility. It's Tesla's big swing at capturing the mass-market crossover segment in a way they've never done before, so let's see if it actually delivers. Exterior. The first thing you notice when walking up to the Model Q is how familiar yet different it looks compared to other Teslas. From the front, Tesla has given it a more sculpted, futuristic fascia that doesn't lean too heavily on the minimalism of older models. There's no traditional grille, of course, but the nose has sharper creases, giving it a bolder face. The headlights are slimmer than ever, almost blade-like, with a new lighting signature that's instantly recognizable at night. The lower bumper has subtle aero channels that not only look stylish but also improve airflow for better efficiency. The whole front end feels like a blend of Model 3 sportiness and Model Y practicality, but shrunken into something more city-friendly. Move to the side profile and this is where the Model Q really carves out its own identity. It sits lower than you'd expect from a crossover but higher than a hatchback, putting it right in that sweet spot for urban buyers. The proportions are clean and compact, with short overhangs, a rising beltline, and a roofline that tapers just enough to give it a sporty edge without stealing headroom. Flush door handles remain, of course, popping out when you approach with the keycard or your phone. Tesla is offering the Model Q with new wheel designs ranging from 18 to 20 inches, each tuned to balance range with style. From this angle, the car feels athletic, like it was designed to move through tight city streets with ease but still have enough stance to hold its own on the highway. Swing around to the rear and things get even more interesting. The back end of the Model Q is much more angular than the Model Y. The taillights stretch across the rear in a continuous LED bar, giving it a more futuristic vibe. The rear hatch is wide and practical, with a low-loading lip for easy cargo access. Tesla even integrated a subtle roof spoiler that helps both with aerodynamics and aesthetics. The bumper design is clean and uncluttered, and overall, the rear feels more premium than what you'd expect in this price range. It doesn't scream budget Tesla, which is smart because Tesla knows customers don't want to feel like they're compromising just to get the entry-level model. Interior. Open the door and step inside. And here's where Tesla has doubled down on its philosophy of minimalism. The cabin is unmistakably Tesla, but it's been reimagined for a smaller footprint. Front and center is the familiar horizontal touchscreen, now a 14-inch unit that handles virtually everything from climate control to navigation to entertainment. It's sharper, quicker, and more customizable than before. There's no instrument cluster behind the wheel, keeping the driver's view clean, though Tesla has improved the head-up display system to project speed, range, and navigation directly on the windshield. The materials have taken a step up. Tesla has heard the complaints about cheap plastics and is finally offering more sustainable premium finishes, like plant-based leather, recycled trim accents, and softer touch points throughout the cabin. The steering wheel sticks with the round shape rather than the controversial yoke, which feels like a nod to practicality. Seating is comfortable, with more bolstering than you'd expect, and even though the Model Q is compact, rear passengers get decent legroom and headroom thanks to clever packaging and that slightly raised roof line. Cargo space is competitive, and of course, you still get Tesla's signature frunk up front for extra storage. Performance is where things get even more intriguing. The Model Q comes in multiple variants, starting with the single-motor rear-wheel drive version designed for affordability and maximum efficiency. That version puts out around 280 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds, which is plenty quick for everyday use. Then you move up to the dual-motor all-wheel drive variant, which jumps to over 350 horsepower and cuts the 0 to 60 time down to about 4.7 seconds. And for those who want maximum performance, Tesla is already teasing a cute performance trim that could push over 450 horsepower and rival hot hatches in acceleration. Range is, of course, a big deal here. Tesla claims the base Model Q will deliver around 300 miles on a charge, with the long-range dual-motor variant pushing closer to 350 miles under ideal conditions. That puts it squarely ahead of many competitors in the compact EV crossover space. Charging speeds remain excellent, with up to 250 kilowatts peak charging on Tesla's V4 Superchargers, meaning you can go from 10 to 80% in about 20 minutes if you're plugged into the latest infrastructure. On the road, the Model Q feels nimble and light, thanks to its smaller dimensions and low center of gravity from the battery pack. Steering is sharper than the Model Y, ride quality is well balanced, and overall, it feels like a car designed for both city maneuverability and spirited highway driving. Now, let's talk money, because this is what really sets the Model Q apart. Tesla has positioned this as their most affordable new model, with the base variant starting at around $34,000 before incentives. That's huge, because it undercuts the Model 3 while still offering crossover practicality. The dual-motor version climbs into the low $40,000 range, and the performance trim is expected to be closer to $50,000. Considering the tech, range, and performance you're getting, it's a very aggressive price point that's going to put serious pressure on rivals from Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and even legacy automakers like Ford and GM. So, after spending time with the 2026 Tesla Model Q, what's the verdict? Tesla has managed to shrink down its DNA into something that feels both familiar and new. The exterior design is sharp and youthful. The interior continues to champion minimalism but with more attention to quality, and the performance strikes a balance between efficiency and fun. Add in the competitive range figures, lightning fast charging, and an aggressive entry price, and this really does look like the EV that could bring Tesla ownership to a much broader audience. Of course, there are still questions about build quality, software updates, and long-term reliability, but if Tesla executes well, the Model Q might just be the company's most important vehicle since the original Model 3. That's going to wrap it up for this review of the 2026 Tesla Model Q. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think. Is the Model Q the right move for Tesla, or would you still rather go with something like a Model Y or even a rival EV? This has been Car Flash, where the cars get real and the hype gets left in the dust. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.